Hawaii is loosening more of its COVID restrictions. Beginning today, restaurants and event venues no longer need to follow social distancing guidelines or capacity limits. At the same time, concerns over the new variant Omicron are growing globally. For more on this, we welcome back Lieutenant Governor and the state's COVID-19 liaison, Dr. Josh Green. Good morning, Lieutenant Governor. How are you doing today?
Doing great, thanks.
So first of all, what is changing today across the state, and why is this step so important?
Well, it's an important process to get back toward normal. We've suffered under the virus for 2 years, basically, and it's not just about health vis-a-vis the virus. It's about our psychological health, our economic health, our social health. And Hawaii has done better than anyone getting vaccinated and keeping the rate of COVID down. We're at a positivity rate of 1.42% right now, whereas the mainland's at 6.63%, which means that as the governor relieves us of the emergency proclamation rules and it gives the responsibilities back to the mayors, they can make the judgments on the size of gatherings, how safe it is, and so on. So we have very low rates of COVID, not no COVID, that's not possible, but very low rates. And so we have to balance safety, which we've done, with normalcy, which we need to do as we go towards Christmas and 2022.
Now, the new Omicron variant has not been detected here. Yesterday, the governor said Hawaii can identify this variant and would be able to take action to limit where it's happening if it does come here. Can you explain that more? Would that be through quarantining and contact tracing?
Yeah, it's some of the traditional methods. It's not any different than what we've done with other variants, but the Omicron variant, which we don't know yet whether it's more severe, more transmissible, or evades the vaccination, we don't know that yet. We'll know in 7 to 10 days. But what we would do is, as we sample the virus positive cases, we'd be able to see, oh, okay, this is an Omicron case. Therefore, we will contact trace very aggressively around that case to make sure anyone else who catches it is identified. And we see if it's spreading more quickly or not. Remember, anyone who tests positive is supposed to go in quarantine for 10 days and not go out until they're asymptomatic. And have that 10-day period pass. But there were so many cases that no one in the whole country or world could contact trace everywhere. But we'll be more aggressive about that now that we see Omicron and there's some uncertainty for at least another week.
You just mentioned the Christmas season, the holidays. It's hard to believe, but today is December 1st. Christmas a little more than 3 weeks away right now. Families have already made travel plans for the winter break or might be thinking about traveling or hosting those parties. With this new variant, what do you suggest? Do you suggest we hold off for now or continue with travel and gathering plans?
I suggest not panicking whatsoever. Go forward with your plans. If you're vaccinated and probably boosted, you've done a very good thing. You're protected, first of all, from the Delta variant, which is 99.9% of all of the cases across the country. Keep in mind, we are so well vaccinated that we should not have spread. Now, there is something that we do always have to be mindful of, and that's if we find out that the mutations on the Omicron spike protein, which is the thing that infects us, if that is so significant that it goes around our ability to be vaccinated and protected, sure. Then we're going to see significant changes again, more towards safety and precautions around travel. We have not seen that yet. There are very few cases internationally. It's still Delta that what people should worry about. But if our people have gotten vaccinated, they've done the right thing.
And finally, I do want to quickly ask you about Merck's pill to treat COVID. FDA advisors now endorsing it. How important is this? And also at the same time, any concerns that might give people who aren't vaccinated a reason not to get the vaccine, thinking there's this new weapon to fight COVID?
Well, I think that in society, especially in Hawaii, it's pretty clear those who want to be vaccinated have gotten vaccinated. 83% of all of our 12-year-olds and up, 83% are fully vaccinated. The remaining 17% probably have kind of deep personal reasons not to get vaccinated or physical reasons not to get vaccinated. So the Merck pill will offer an additional weapon in our arsenal to beat COVID back. The early data showed it was 89% likely to decrease hospitalization or fatalities, which is excellent. Keep in mind, there's only limited data on this, and so we're going to find out really quickly whether it actually works well in large populations. But they did not feel it was a danger in any way. I still would recommend people get vaccinated because what I've seen as a clinician is if you're vaccinated, you're not going to get severely ill or die. And so therefore do that to prevent it rather than having to take another medication.
It's the same mantra, get your vaccine. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor, for joining us. We always appreciate your time and insight.
You bet.